Hey, Maple Leafs hockey is back! Welcome to From Center Ice. My name is Courtney. I am sorry, Leafs fans, that I abandoned you over the summer. If you were around last year, you know that I am a Blackhawks fan first. The Toronto Maple Leafs are my second team, so this summer was a little bit horrible and dramatic here in Blackhawks land. And with the condensed schedule last year and everything else, this brain was very burnt out. But hockey is back. Regular season hockey is back. The Toronto Maple Leafs are back. And so am I. And with the return of regular season hockey comes the return of 3 questions. If you were around for the Leafs playoff run, quote unquote, last year, you know how this works. Or if you're a Blackhawks fan and you've been around for all of it, you know how this works. If you're not a fan of either team, but you've been around, you know how this works. If you are new to From Center Ice, first of all, welcome. I'm very glad to see you here. Second of all, how 3 questions works is before each game I come up with 3 questions for that game. Usually it comes after watching a previous one. Once that game is over, I sit back in front of this camera, I answer those 3 questions based off of how the team played, and then I post 3 more questions for the following game. And then that cycle just repeats itself. It's very easy. It's a lot of fun for me to film. You all enjoyed it during the playoffs last year, so I am back and we're gonna do this thing all over again. But this 3 questions video is not game specific. There is a 3 questions video for game number 1 against the Montreal Canadiens. That will be going up basically right after this one. But these are 3 questions for the 2021-22 Toronto Maple Leafs as a whole. So let's jump into them. Question 1. Can the Leafs reserve some of their energy during the regular season to have it ready for the playoffs? I know that you all, as well as me, are tired of the Maple Leafs getting eliminated in the first round of the playoffs or in the play-in round against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And it just seems like they go all out during the regular season. They're having a lot of fun, scoring a bunch of goals, doing all these things right, and then they get to the playoffs and maybe they look like that team for a couple of games and then they just die. So, you know, instead of blaming it on any one player or any 2 players, yes, you know exactly what I am talking about, we are just going to assume with this question that by the time they get to the playoffs, they are just exhausted from going all out during the regular season. I don't really know what that says about last playoff run since the season was shortened, but, you know, Leafs. But anyway, can they reserve some of that energy so they have all of the energy that they can possibly need to at least make it through the first round of the playoffs this year? But don't reserve too much energy because you still have to make the playoffs. This is the Leafs we are talking about. We cannot assume anything. Question 2. Does Auston Matthews repeat as the Rocket Richard Trophy winner? Auston Matthews is going to miss the start of the regular season, but he shouldn't be out very long. The last I saw was he's going to miss maybe 3 games of the regular season. You know, wrist surgery and such. But as long as that wrist is healed up with how good he is at scoring goals, missing 3 games should not set him back too far. So can he repeat? That would be a lot of fun. And it would certainly be nice to see that he could actually score goals after what we saw in the playoffs. Yes, I'm totally fine. I'm totally over it. Totally. Question 3. Will Jack Campbell and Petr Mrazek be the goaltending tandem for game 1 of the playoffs? And if they are, who has the starting role? Now, I don't pose this question in anticipation of the Leafs trading one of Campbell or Mrazek, but both of these goaltenders have dealt with injuries. There's just something about the Leafs and wanting to have injured goaltenders all the time. So why not pick up Petr Mrazek? They basically did a goalie swap of injured goalies with the Carolina Hurricanes. Since Freddie Anderson went down to Carolina, Petr Mrazek came up to Toronto. We'll see how it works out. But will Jack Campbell and Petr Mrazek both be healthy at the end of the season and going into the playoffs? And again, if they both are healthy, who's gonna have the starting job? Of course, right now, I would give it to Jack Campbell because how do you not love Jack Campbell? And he was absolutely incredible last season. But Petr Mrazek is a sneaky good goaltender, and you never know what could happen over the course of 82 games. And just for funsies, I threw in a bonus question this time, and I want your thoughts on this one. Well, I want your thoughts on all of them, but especially this one, and maybe the goaltender question. Will Nick Robertson be a full-time NHLer by the end of this season. I am very curious to hear your thoughts. So, do you have any questions about this team for the season ahead of us? A full 82 games. Are you ready? That sounds very exhausting after last year. But at least the schedule is a bit more spread out this time, even though the Leafs start the year with the back-to-back because they play again tomorrow night. But you know, NHL scheduling and such. But leave your thoughts and your questions down in the comments below. I would love to read all of them. If you would like to hear more from me or from Center Ice, you can head on over to FromCenterIce.com. There's links to absolutely everything over there. And if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe and like this video. I would greatly appreciate that. If you're a social media person and you want to follow along on social media, all of the links for those platforms are down in the description for you. All of that being said, thank you so very much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you all after Game 1. Bye, guys.